So Be'ezrat Hashem, we're gonna learn a little bit more from this wonderful book, the book of advice from Rabbi Nachman of Breslev. Third section in this part. The real closest ones No, I think we're gonna skip from the third to the fourth, and we're gonna just start with the fourth. A person should know that Hashem Yitbarach, that the Creator, is praising himself, means super happy, even with the smallest of the smallest ones, the lightest of the lightest ones that are in Israel, and even with the ones who are the lowest ones, means the criminals of Israel. As long as the name Israel is on him, there is glory and pride with him, especially with Hashem Yitbarach praising himself for having him as his. All this concept of the children of Israel is a very, for now, in the dark hours of exile, it's very hard for us to grasp and understand what does it mean. The only reason why it's hard to understand is because the tribes of Israel, the lost tribes of Israel, today are not being called in the name Israel. Some of them lives in Afghanistan. So if you're going to ask him, who are you? Not all of them will know to tell you that they are from the forgotten tribes, from the lost tribes. The majority of them will tell you that they belong to this tribe, to that community, to that community, to that village, to that village. They know only the names that are known in our generation to that population, to that group of people, but they don't really remember the root of where they came from, that they also belongs to the tribes of Israel. So the majority of the children of Israel are still lost until today. And even though I said that thing many times in the past, the main thing that a person should do for him to know if he belongs to the children of Israel or not is to look deep into the roots of his own soul and to ask yourself, who are you? Who am I? You need to look deep into yourself and to ask yourself, do I love the Torah? Do I love Am Israel, the people of Israel? Do I love the Holy Land of Israel? Am I standing with Israel? If my standing with Israel is in fire and water, am I ready to die for those people? Am I willing to give my life for them? Am I bond and connected to them with great love, with amazing, beautiful connection? Do I believe in Hashem, Elokei Israel, or am I not? If you do, and if that light shines within you, there are no arguments at all of the nature of your soul, because the real true nature of your soul is shining and can be seen. If you would have hatred to Israel, when you would hate the Israeli people, and when you would see a Jewish person, you would just be filled with anger and vicious desire to kill, you can imagine that you're an Amalekites or some other nation that are known haters of the people of Israel. But if love is filling you and desire for the Torah and for the Holy Land is filling you from within, so that's who you are. So everything that is written here is not speaking especially about the Jewish people. The Jewish people are one tribe out of the 12, but you have 12 tribes. And here Rabbi Nachman is mentioning the name of Israel. You have people who lives in Africa that they know that they are Israelis. You have people who lives in India that knows that they are Israelis. People all around the world that they know definitely, surely, with no doubt in their hearts, we are one with Israel. Why you are one with Israel? Because you are one with Israel. You just need to believe in yourself that that's who you are. And then everything will be okay. Because you become one with the one that you feel and you love. And that's the nature of this world, that two bodies can become one. Two different tribes from the same father become one nation. So as long as the name Israel is being called on him, Hashem is proud of him. And therefore a person must not let himself fall to despair and to give up. Even if he messed up so many times, even if he failed, God forbid, in horrible ways, because still there is no doubt that Hashem sees this person with great kindness and he adores him and likes him a lot. And therefore you still have a chance to come back to Hashem Yitbarach. Hashem Yitbarach means Hashem, the Creator, that we believe in him, may he be blessed. And the main way to connect yourself to Hashem is through peoples of truth, loyal people, that they can find the goodness and the glory that there is even in the worst of all worsts, and to help them all to come back to Hashem Yitbarach. A good parent is a parent who has the ability to recognize the goodness in his child and to see the talents and the secret abilities of that child, things that even a teacher will not be able to recognize. Why? Because of the love that the parent has to his child. So, the real righteous ones, who are the ones who are able to find the goodness inside every soul, they just have a greater love to the people than others, and therefore they are able to see their goodness and the treasures that are treasured in him. Jumping to the next section, section 5. When a person needs to climb from one level to the next, he should first have a falling, first of all. It doesn't need to be something that you will plan, not to start failing here. No, I must fail now. No. This is something that happens to a person before he's climbing. So if you found yourself failing, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're in a bad place. It might be that that's the way that you're about to climb. Because falling is the purpose of climbing. Means that when a person is falling, it is in the purpose for climbing. Means that the result of the falling is for the person to climb. In another way to say that a person, for the person to climb, he must fall first. Okay, that's what we just read. And that thing every person can understand. And that every person can understand. From that, probably we need to say, and from that every person can understand, should understand how much he should strengthen himself while serving Hashem, and not to give up and not to fall from his mind, from his wisdom. Never, no matter what, even from all the fallings and all the downs that he's experiencing in the world. Because if he will not give up and he will strengthen himself and hold on, not to look at those failures at all, no matter what he will go through, in the end, he'll find the power that all those downs will become great ups, because the down is for the purpose of climbing up. And there are a lot of great things to say about that, because everyone who fell to the place that he fell, it seems to him that on him those things are not being said, because he thinks to himself that those words are being said only to great people with high levels who are climbing all the time from one level to the next, and not for people like him that are failing on daily basis in horrible things. But you should know and believe that all those words are being said on the smallest ones, in all the smallest ones that there are, and the worst of all worst ones, because Hashem Yitbarach is good for all, always. Should we continue? Let's try. Let's read another part, okay? I really love learning, so it's not such a... I'm very happy to share with you from those wonderful books that Hashem opened my eyes to see. I'm willing and happy to share it with you. So we are in section 6. Every person in the world, even if that person is in a very low level, even if he is buried in the ground, like so physical, so earthen that like he feels like he's 100% buried in the ground. With all of that, when he wants to climb and enter into Avodat Hashem is another concept that is important to translate. Serving Hashem means Avodat Hashem, working the work of Hashem. So when a person wants to start serving Hashem, bevadai, for sure, he should go and climb from one level to the next. And every time that he is going from one level to the next, according to his aspect, then over and over, the husks and coverings that are the lusts and the imaginations are trying to overpower him over and over with negative thoughts and confusions and obstacles. And they're spreading themselves against that person every time, more and more. And they're not letting him to enter into the gates of holiness and purity. But you should know that in that, many good people are failing and grasping it wrong, not understanding it well. When they see that suddenly lusts and confusions and difficulties and obstacles are overpowering them, and it seems to those people that they fell from their level, because that in the earliest time, all those lusts and confusions were not so strong against him, and they were resting, they were not attacking him. Therefore, he thinks to himself that he fell, God forbid. But the truth is that that is not a falling at all, because the reason why they came against you is only because that you are now about to climb from one level to the next according to your aspect. And because of that, they are overpowering you again and again with great power, even more than they used to before, with all the lusts and all the confusions and obstacles and the crooked thoughts in the hearts. But a person must always reminding himself to strengthen himself a lot and not to fall from that in his mind at all, until he will find the power to break them, to remove them, and to go through them and break them completely, and never to give up. And one of the advices for that is to give charity to worthy, righteous people, poor people, because the main greatness of the Creator is being revealed by charity. When you give charity to a worthy poor person, means a decent poor person, a person that is righteous, a person that is good. And by that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Creator, is praising himself in you, means he's proud of you and can express that pride. And by that, you'll have the merit to turn off, to reject, to remove the husks, that they are the obstacles and the confusions that are attacking the person in every level and level. Very good. Last one. Another advice for that, to be able to break those obstacles, is that he will make himself happy and will be super proud in the good point that he finds in himself, even on his inner connection to the family of Israel, and on the fact that he is close to people of truth who are helping him and leading him and guiding him to walk in the path of truth. Based on that, no matter what will happen with him, he has an eternal hope for goodness forever. And by that happiness, he finds power to break those husks, that they are the obstacles that are in every level and level, to reject them and to go through them and not to fail by them at all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
My name is RDMC with the Muna Project, all the nations with me. Close your eyes, just breathe, see the truth. Don't chase the fake world, don't buy the fake news. Be yourself, your own true self. Don't let no one take our natural wealth. See the good, no fear, no despair. Cherish who that you are and share. Source of power from an endless spring. Light of courage in yourself, yes.
They can kick you down to the ground. Hold yourself up till you are, put up your crown. King of the creator, holy soul inside. Focus on the spiritual and you shall